Welcome back to the Move Better podcast. Today I have with me Delia Duran, who's from New Jersey, and she is the owner of Empower the Bod. And I'm excited to talk with Delia about her journey. And she's also currently a physical therapy student and crushing it, doing all kinds of awesome things. So, welcome to the podcast, Delia.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you for having me.
Um, let's tell us about yourself. Tell us, how did you come to get to, like, where how did you start Empower the Bod, and what journey brought you here?
Yes, definitely. So my journey started, I would say, sometime in middle school when I realized that weight was something that other children pick on you on. I feel like also as a child, my parents would comment things like, "Oh, make sure you don't eat too much." I don't feel like it was in the front of my mind, not until I got to school when I realized that, oh, this is something that society picks on you. If you're, if any minute you see a weight gain, someone will point on you and say, "I see you gained weight." And sometimes they don't say it in such a nice way. They make fun of you. And I realized that that has basically traveled with me through my development. Even when I was in romantic relationships, I would feel very insecure and I would never be present in my relationship. And that's when I realized it was a big problem once those relationships ended.
That's a long journey. So what's your mission with Empower the Bod? Like, what what like who are what do you hope that people that follow you on Instagram, or that what do you hope they get out of following you?
Yeah, so definitely my mission is weight gain, weight loss. It shouldn't define you. It's a process, definitely, but I definitely want to separate your worth toward with and tied with your weight. There's many different reasons why people gain weight and lose weight, but it shouldn't be tied to your worth. And I realized that my weight, my fluctuation of weight, has determined my decision making, such as becoming a personal trainer. Uh, I love training. I love exercising. And my own personal trainer, she's like, "You should become a personal trainer." And this was in 2017 when she told me. And it took me such a long time to be like, yes, I can do this. Because I always thought that a personal trainer needed to look a certain way. They needed to have a six pack, all those limiting beliefs. So I want to help other women with those limiting beliefs and go for what they want to go for, their dreams.
That's awesome. That I think you're absolutely correct. I as a it's something I've always struggled with. Like, I'm obsessive about the scale, and and I'm just now, in my 50s, realizing, okay, I more want to pay attention to, how do I feel? Do my clothes still fit? Am I sluggish during the day? Do I have energy to do all the stuff that I want to do? Because my brain doesn't know that I'm 50. And in realizing, what I put in my body feeds that, fuels that. And I don't have to obsess about scale wise and what my weight is. But it's more about how you feel inside, and more how you feel in your heart. And that's one thing that draws me to your all your posts. Like, you put a lot of heart in there, and you have a lot of, like, empowering um, posts and statements, and so uh, what kind of things make this challenging? So the first part of the question is what makes it challenging, and then what can we do about it?
Yes. So what makes it challenging is definitely our own mind. It's definitely our limiting beliefs. And how can we separate what we, how can we treat ourselves like we're our own best friends? right? Because we are our worst critics. Like I quickly say, "Oh my God, look at me," and I start criticizing. But you wouldn't let your best friend talk to you like that, or else they wouldn't be your best friend, especially if they're that harsh with you, right? And so definitely that's one challenge, our own mindset. How can we reframe that? And I don't necessarily think that the weight loss goal is such a bad goal. I know I've seen some accounts that say, oh, let that not be your goal. If that's your goal, that's fine. But how can you separate, like you said, the number of the scale with your own worth? And so that's definitely a challenge, your own mindset. Secondly, I would say there is definitely a lot of messages in society, whether what types of food you eat or whether exercise, what kind of exercise. There's so much information. And you definitely highlighted a very important fact of listening to your body. So definitely listening to your own body, what types of food you eat definitely gives you a signal whether something is giving you acid reflux or whether something's making you feel bloated, things like that. Listening, paying more in tune to that versus, oh, this is healthy, this is not healthy, this is good, this is bad.
Do you uh favor a certain like way, like what is working with you, or as a personal trainer, what does that look like? Like, do you focus on diet? Do you focus on exercise? Do you focus on mindset? Kind of all the above.
Yeah, definitely all of the above. When I have a client at the gym where I work at currently, I definitely meet them where they are. I don't start saying, oh, this is what you need to do. They're coming to me because they've never exercised or they haven't exercised in a long time. And they're looking for someone who's gonna meet them where they are. And that's where I start. And then we start tackling. So after we get them into an exercise regimen, something that is doable with their schedule, then we look at other things like, okay, what types of foods are working for you? What are you doing? Are you cooking? Are you eating well? And things, so little baby steps at a time, so that it's not overwhelming.
I think that's a huge piece. We all try to like, I need to be the best shape I can be in, you know, tomorrow. And everything is really one step at a time. That's where my turtles come in, like the journey is one step at a time, and it's lifelong journey versus, not just a quick fix. And while there are ways to get there quick, it's not always going to make you feel so good. Uh,
Exactly, and it's not sustainable.
yeah. I know you include a lot of, well, I've seen some of the videos I've seen that you've done are in like strength. Like, do you find that people tend to come in like, well, wait, I know I need to do cardio. Like, do you include a lot of strength training in your work? Or in your training?
Yes, definitely. I incorporate a lot of strength training. I love strength training. I feel like it ties into what you do on a day-to-day basis, like a squat. We sit a lot, so definitely working on those skills. Um, so I love the weights too because for me it's reinforcing that I'm a strong woman. I don't. I love that link with exercise and with training, with empowerment, with strength. Like, oh my God, this was
Yeah,
amazing. I could lift this amount of times. So definitely I enjoy that.
yeah. I think that's one of like, and I never recognized it like over the course of the last 30 years that I've been lifting. Um, but I think when you finally realize that like lifting weights is a good thing and putting on muscle is a good thing, and how strong you feel, like I have no problem, and my husband is crazy strong and very in shape, but I can carry my like, and I will always ask him to put the water in just because it's what I do. But like those 5 gallon waters, like to me, that's like hugely empowering that it's not a struggle for me to carry it upstairs and to carry it, put it into the water container, or just to, you know, to feel good in a dress or an outfit because, I have some muscle definition. And it's more than, yes, it's tied into how I look, but like, I think it builds a lot of confidence when you do strength train and when you realize that what you're doing is changing your body and for the good, and then that carries over into everything in life, not just the dress, but
Yeah, definitely with the profession of physical therapy, it highlights a lot how when we are aging, a lot of that diminishes. So we want to strength train for that reason too. It's like that we're taking care of our future selves.
yeah, exactly. So talking physical therapy, what made you decide you wanted to go into physical therapy in addition to doing personal training?
Yeah, so I feel like I've always wanted to do physical therapy, but I ignored myself, limiting beliefs. I
Hmm.
always thought getting into physical therapy was going to be hard. But really, my experiences working at a hospital has reinforced the importance of physical therapy. I've worked with the geriatrics department. So just seeing their health decline and what can we do to prevent those declines definitely reinforced my decision of going for physical therapy. I've also volunteered in like women's health. So educating myself in that area, I'm just fascinated on how there's little attention to women's health and how can we advocate for women, and giving birth is incredible in what they go through after the fact. They don't go through physical therapy and it's much needed.
Yeah. And I think your perspective is going to carry over huge in the clients that you work with too, because many times they come in with limiting beliefs, on what, maybe their back pain is, gonna be there forever, or, in the women's health realm, that they're gonna always have back pain because of their back labor, or, and starting to teach them that uh, one, to start to think that think positively and how can you change it, and to look at your body different and look at the amazing, after pregnancy and your body changes immensely, and look at the amazing thing, you just created a human, like taking that empowerment there. I think um, what you're creating is going to be huge as you transition into physical therapy also, like in mindset, because I think mindset is a huge piece of physical therapy, on top of everything, what we eat and how we move and all that stuff. So that's really cool. And I know you're just starting that journey, so we'll have to keep in touch as you go. I know we'll keep in touch as you go along, and keeping that growing and going. So what um, are there any tips that you can give to someone who maybe struggles with mindset or struggles with body image, and kind of just wants to shy away from doing anything? Are there any tips that you could give someone to help make that easier? Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely with body image, what has helped me personally that I would give an advice to someone would be if you have an opportunity, definitely seek professional help, such as a mental health counselor. If you can, if it's within your budget, invest in a life coach because they will highlight your blind spots. They will listen to your language. I know for me, when I saw a mental health counselor, she said, "Oh, that sounds very negative." And to me, that was my normal language. But if I didn't have an outside person looking at it, I wouldn't have realized. And there's a lot of healing that comes with a mental health professional and also a life coach. It would help you heal your wounds from the past because anything that happened in childhood and you didn't address, you will address it then. So definitely looking into that, looking into meditation. We live in a very stressful world, and if we don't have quiet time, reading time, it could become chaotic, and then you start like going with the flow, that you stop caring for yourself. Another big thing for me is exercise, because if I don't exercise, then I really feel worse about myself. At least when I start moving, even if it's going for a walk, if I have a busy day, at least a 10-minute walk will change the way I see the world and myself. So definitely starting in that direction. And I want to include journaling. If you could just brain dump in the morning and at night, just everything that you have in your head, just let it out in a piece of notebook. And I would say handwriting is for me works. So
Yeah.
definitely opening up your notebook, pen, and just dump everything out. Just let everything go from the day.
I think those are excellent tips. And I like that you like my habit right now is journaling and doing like a meditation, not a meditation journal, but journaling, a gratitude journal in the morning. I try to just assess where I was, yes, like yesterday and what I want to accomplish today. Sometimes I need to get out, I'm frustrated because whatever, the cat puked on the the carpet again. Um, that's a random thing, but I'm still thankful for the cats and then putting that gratitude in there. But I like how you suggested both morning and night because um, I think like sleep is a big piece of all of this too, in your health journey and letting like dumping your stress from the day. And sometimes it's not good to do just a plain old dump of like bleh, but like looking at like reviewing your day and reminding yourself what was positive through the day. And you know, the things you look forward to can help to quiet the struggles when you can't fall asleep, and I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you can't sleep, but a lot more, for me, most of the time, it's my brain's racing and I have so much I want to, even if it's just a matter of like, okay, tomorrow I have to do this, like getting that out, I think can make a huge difference on your sleep and all of that. Um, and I also very much like the meditation. That's something that well, one thing you said, meditation or read, like need just taking some quiet time. Maybe you're not sitting and being, fingers crossed and in a cross-legged position. But if you can just be quiet and sit and just breathe for a few minutes, that can do the brain and your body a whole lot of good. So those I love I liked all of those tips. Excellent. So what have you got going on now? I mean, it's got to be busy when you're in school. Do you have any programs out or what you're working on?
So definitely I'm working on two PDFs that can help any beginners that are looking for tips on how to improve their body image. And also I'll have another PDF for body, because I realize that a lot of women feel weak in their upper body and they feel bad about it. So I came up with a program that can help you begin that journey of for body strength. And so definitely look out for those. I'm going to be putting them on my Instagram, Empower the Bod, all in one word. And so I'm definitely going to do that. I have them done. I just got to upload them into my social media. And so no current programs, but I'm definitely surveying my audience of what they will like.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and so if you're, I encourage you to go follow Delia on her social media because there there's there's a lot of wealth and content and a lot of great information to help you keep moving forward. And then as these PDFs come out, like take them and and take that information from her. She's got a lot of wealth and knowledge in there, and um, even if you're where the reason I'm struggling with this is because it's as I know how hard it is in physical therapy school to kind of create new content or put new stuff out there or to do anything besides physical. I don't really know that because I didn't have social media when I was in school, but I do know what school takes, and it takes a lot of effort and time. And so even if like go look at her past content, scroll down because she's got a lot of positive messages that I think can carry over. And if you're a parent listening to this, I think it's important for your kids too. So share that too along. Is there any other uh, tidbits of information that maybe we missed that is helpful for empowering the bod and things that you want to encourage people?
I definitely want to encourage people to get up and move. Definitely changes your mood, changes how you feel, changes your thinking pattern also. So any moment that you feel down, just get up, go for a walk, and do yoga, whatever activity you want to do. Definitely movement is medicine.
Perfect. So how you already said it once, but how can people reach you? Where can they follow you and learn more information?
Definitely, yes. I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok and Instagram. Follow me on Empower the Bod. It's one word.
Cool. Perfect. And thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for your journey into PT and looking forward to. I think you're really going to do amazing things for women and people who want to really um, who need to know that it's to take to look more at just the scale, to embrace what your body does for you and empowering your body. So I'm excited for your journey, Delia. Uh,
Thank you.
uh, Thanks for joining us, everyone. Don't forget, when in doubt, breathe it out. Take life one step at a time. And as my friend Drew Kelleher said, you are responsible for your own vibe. So go get the day.